Joined by head coach Kevin Epley here at the Rice Athletic Center. Gamecocks getting ready to hit the road here for some more competition against the ACC. Got Clemson coming up on Thursday and then UVA on Saturday. But before we hit those matches, let's talk a little bit about the ITA kickoff weekend that took place last Saturday in Atlanta. Took on Georgia Tech, ranked number 12. Another tough match out there. Doubles ended up being the difference in that one. Came down to a third set in the singles there with Anna Cruz. Just walk us through sort of that match and the emotions and everything that took place there against Georgia Tech.
Man, it did come down to the wire. It came down to Anna's match. She doesn't have a whole lot of experience in dual matches, and particularly in that scenario, but fought really hard to come back. She was down significantly in the third set, got it back to 5-all. And you really felt like we were about to turn it on and take the match, at least from our vantage point. It just didn't work out that way. Georgia Tech won, in just a nail biter. It was a really exciting match, and it was tough to lose, but it was good to see where we are again. There were a lot of promising things that came out of that match. Some people were committing to their games better. Our attitudes were better across the board. Still need to work on a couple things. Definitely need to work on our doubles, and we definitely can't take any steps back with our singles, committing to our games, our attitudes, and we just need to continue to work on stepping up at the big moments. At the big moments, Georgia Tech just got more of them. So it was a great match. Georgia Tech's a good team. They took out Duke the next day, and very, very talented. And good in their home facility. So we just take our hits and work on what we need to work on and get back at it.
Well, you talked about the doubles and needing to get better. Are you happy with the combinations that you're using with Mia and Megan at 1? You've been using Emma and Allie there at 2, Sylvia, Anna down there at 3. Are those good combos? Could you maybe switch it up, or is it just a matter of getting those teams to perform the way they're capable of performing?
We're evaluating that right now. Certainly those teams have the capacity to play, but we're not playing Gamecock doubles. So we're going to get out there today. We're going to get into that. We got to get our intensity level way higher, playing with more intention, using our serves better, playing with more authority. And as far as the combinations go, we're considering anything at this point. We should be getting doubles points. That's always been a strong part of our team. So we just got to get on track more than anything.
And you mentioned, we talked about, Anna being the last one on, and, someone that doesn't have a lot of experience. She's only her second year, and last year, of course, got cut short, and she was injured in the spring, too. That number 6 spot seems like it's kind of, interchangeable. Like you have a lot of pieces. Those top 5 seem kind of, solidified to a big extent. That number 6 spot's maybe a little more open to some degree. Just seeing Anna out there, you talked about she's down 5-1 in the third set and managed to get back to 5-all. Just do you feel good about her confidence level and just the gaining that experience of being in a tight moment like that, and just what she can maybe learn from it?
Yeah, for sure. She was kind of handling her opponent pretty well, and in the second set, we call it countering. The opponents tend to sort of adjust their game, relax a little bit, make a few more balls. I think she panicked a little bit at that point. That's kind of what I mean by stepping up in big moments and holding leads and so on. But overall, her game looks a lot better than it did last year. Her attitude looks a lot better than last year, and there is no shortcut for experience. So hopefully she can learn from that and getting into the next match if she's to play again. And like you say, 6 is kind of a pivotal spot in terms of that point. So we just need somebody to step up there, and we're just kind of holding on. And if we can't get wins, we'll try somebody else and see if that works out better for us.
Well, let's take a look now with Clemson coming up. Of course, the big rivalry matchup here. South Carolina's kind of taken control of this series here the last several years. It's 6 in a row right now for the Gamecocks, longest tied for the school record for longest win streak against Clemson. This year's Clemson team a little different in that they have a new head coach for probably the biggest thing. Nancy Harris stepping down last year, got a new coach in there, Christy Lynch taking it over last summer. They've played a couple dual matches, played a hidden duel last weekend, so the season's kind of young. I mean, do you know much about this team, or what can you maybe expect? Taking on Clemson Thursday.
Well, when you go to Clemson and you're playing on their home turf, and the rivalry is what it is, kind of all bets are off. It's going to be a war. So I would expect that, and I would expect they'd have some solid energy with a new coach who's ambitious and getting excited with her first year at the helm. So I'd expect them to come after us a little bit, and I expect it to be a good match. And more importantly, I want to see us progressing, and I want to see our doubles, on track, and I want to see everybody kind of committed to their games and stepping up the right moments. And one of the things that we talk about all the time is we've evolved into a team over the years where we're known for toughness down the stretch, win a lot of 4-3 matches, and we've got to get that identity and own it a little bit. And if we get into a tough match, expect to win those things. So these kind of things that aren't particular straight against Clemson, but just in general, what being a Gamecock is, and we need to bring that to both these matches, Clemson and UVA.
Well, finally, you got the UVA on Saturday. This is a top 10 team. They competed in the kickoff weekend as well last weekend. Got a win against Tennessee and then lost to the host school, Ohio State, in that next round. So they're 1-1 on the year as well. Like I said, this is a top 10 team. This is a team you've played, it seems like, pretty frequently the last kind of since you got here. It seems like the Gamecocks and UVA just have either had a match scheduled or that they've run into each other in the NCAA tournament several times here in the last few years. Just tell us about the Cavaliers and, going up to Charlottesville. We've got some wins up there in Charlottesville before, and certainly not an easy place to play.
No, beautiful place. I used to live in Charlottesville, so we used to practice there, and I was really good friends with the old coach, Mark Gilbo, when I was working at William & Mary, so we used to play quite a bit, and we tend to try to keep that, that going a little bit. Getting up there and playing there is always a good experience. Obviously we started that prior to the new coach, and hopefully we can continue that into the future because their team is getting better and better. We've obviously started this season with very tough schedule. NC State, Georgia Tech, and now another top 10 team in UVA. So certainly going to have our work cut out for us. But we're just looking forward to it. We feel like we're right there, and we just got to tweak a few things, and we could be in the running against anybody.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck with both these matches coming up this week, and we will check in with you again soon.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.